guys at once, but we can do it.
Justin Armstrong.
Okay, so you guys are actually muted out, and if you have any questions, just make sure you unmute yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. Okay, so as long as you guys can see the screen. Okay. So what we'll do, okay, so I can see you guys here on the right. Perfect. Okay, so welcome to the LinkedIn Virtual Workshop. This platform is actually my favorite platform to train on, the video conferencing platform, because I can see you guys. And just a little bit about myself. I know I shared it earlier, but my name is Bridget Bartley, and I have been in network marketing for about 8 years, and social media is how I've built my entire organization. I started through Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. So I am a huge advocate of social media, and I've never had the premium LinkedIn except for a couple of weeks ago, and I'll share my experience with that in just a minute. But just to give you a little bit of a background of LinkedIn, some stats here. There's 500 million people on LinkedIn, and we're in 200 countries. So look at the industry that you're in. I know some of us who are in network marketing, we're in almost 20 countries. William, I don't know how many countries you serve in, but the really good thing about LinkedIn is the ability for you to reach people outside of the United States. So that's a huge plus with LinkedIn. And then one of the things that is going to help you identify using LinkedIn is, what is your purpose of LinkedIn? Who is your purpose for LinkedIn? And then who is your target audience? What is the message that you're going to put on LinkedIn? And then we're going to talk about your LinkedIn profile. And as I mentioned earlier, LinkedIn is a little different than other social media sites because your platform is different. There's more business people on here. How many of you also have Facebook and Instagram? Okay, so you probably see there's a difference. I mean, you're not going to put your Friday night dinner on LinkedIn, but most likely you'll put it on Instagram or Facebook. So that's where the audience is going to be a little bit different, and we'll talk about that. So those are some questions I really want you to think about and consider as you're setting up your LinkedIn profile. Up until 2 weeks ago, I've never had a premium account for LinkedIn. Everything I've done on LinkedIn has been strictly organic, and there's a free 30-day premium account, and honestly, in the 2 weeks I've been on it, I cannot tell any difference. So if you want to save $60 a month, I'm just going to tell you, I've been doing it for 2 weeks, and I can't tell a difference in the premium account. I mean, the capabilities, it does allow you to email more people, but I'm not one to just cold message people just randomly, but I can just tell you by my personal experience that it's not worth having the premium account. And here are some of the features, free versus the paid LinkedIn accounts. You can get, like I said, you can get extra email messages when you have the premium account. You get some sales insight. You can see who's viewing your profile. So the advantage that I have used with the premium account is I can go and see who has looked at my profile. And then if I'm not connected with them, I'll send them a connection request. And that's really about it. Other than that, in my opinion, it's not worth $65 a month to have a LinkedIn premium account. Now, granted, you may have it and do well with it, but I think you can save your money and put your money elsewhere. So think about your target audience. We are all on social media for some reason to sell something, a product, a service, whether it's healthcare, whether it's life insurance, 401k, or we're selling, health supplements, nutrition, whatever. We are on social media to sell something. And ideally, we want to know what the problems are, and we want to promote that solution. So if, for example, you are selling house alarms, you want to promote the solution of having people feel safe in their house. If you are promoting a healthcare product, you want to promote the more energy, the less body fat. If you're selling cars, promote the dependability of having a certain car and having less gas mileage. So ideally, you really want to promote the solution for people, and let people have that emotional experience of what it's going to feel like to consume, use, or purchase your product. And then also think about the age and gender of the people that you're wanting to talk to. For some of us, we may have a specific target of who we are wanting to identify. It might be that you want to just work with people who are 25 to 35-year-old women who are in the fitness industry, and only be females. So for other people, like for me, I'm open to working with both men and women who are just looking for a set end result. So really think about that, like who your audience is, and that's also going to help you identify the message you're going to put out there. And these are just going to be basic questions. We're going to get into some deeper stuff in just a second. And so here's the thing too that I love to ask people. So if you randomly ask somebody to look at your social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, specifically LinkedIn, but if you were to ask somebody what your brand does or where does your brand take them, would they be able to answer? Could they look at your page and think, oh, Heather does X, Y, and Z. Rhonda does X, Y, and Z. So would they be able to answer that? And then, would they be able to repeat back exactly what you offer? Could they look at you and say, well, she offers a fitness supplement that helps you build lean muscle, or she offers a weight loss product, and I've seen people lose 50 pounds. So think about, he sells a supply chain that allows you to save $50 a month on natural gas. So you want your page, your brand, to repeat back what you offer. And then again, what is your brand? And the reason why I talk about this is, ideally people are buying you as a person versus the actual product. So take an inventory of yourself and think about, what is it about you? Like, what are your likes, your dislikes, your talents, your dreams, your strengths? What are you about? What do you think about all the time? Because again, think about like why you started some of the things that you started. Ideally, it's because of the person that attracted you to it. It's not because of the actual product, but it's because of who you're attracted to selling that. So again, that's something that you've got to really identify is who you are, and then that will radiate out into your brand, and it's going to help you across the board on social media. One of the visuals that I love to use is the bicycle. And for a bicycle to stay balanced, a wheel has to have all the spokes. So here's a visual of 5 different spokes on a bicycle. And I love to use this when it comes to your brand, because think about the 5 things that you are most passionate about. And whatever those 5 things are, whether it's fitness, your faith, your children, nutrition, whether it's golf, whatever it is that you're most passionate about. And here are my 5: my faith, spirituality, my family, nutrition, fitness, and travel. And so for your social media to stay balanced, you want to encompass all 5 of those things. Because imagine this. So say, William is selling a product and the only thing he puts out there every single day is the same product over and over and over and over and over. Well, people are going to know when they go to his page, they're just going to be sold a product. But if he's sharing some other information about his family, nutrition, fitness, some things that he enjoys, it makes it more interesting. For those in the wellness company, the wellness industry, if you're constantly posting before and after photos or constantly posting selfies with shakes, that gets old and people want to see what you are about. And so think about this when you're creating your content. And so sometimes I like to tell people to create a content calendar to keep your social media balanced. Social media is part of your work. So, if you've got to sit down on Sunday nights and say, okay, this is what I'm going to post, maybe it's Monday motivation, Tuesday can be a transformation, Wednesday can be just a wellness tip, Thursday and Friday can be something different. So something about that. And then 2, again, great stuff here. Focus on 3 things when you're creating content. You want to educate people, you want to entertain people, and then you want to empower people. And in reality, when you were talking about your social media, your social media is basically a reality show. And I know a lot of people don't like to think of it that way, and it sounds a little vain when you say it, but in reality, your social media is a reality show. And people come on there to see, what are you doing? What are you posting? She's on a trip. She's going to Disney. You know, he's going to Europe. Like, let's see what he's doing. So you want to educate, entertain, and empower. And educating people, it can be something about, you know, fat loss. It can be something about you're in Europe and you want to show people, you know, something about like where you are in the coffee shop and some sort of history. So, you know, you don't have to overthink this, but these are 3 simple things: educate, entertain, and empower. And then as we go into your LinkedIn profile, you want to treat your profile like it's a brochure, because when people look at your LinkedIn page, and again, this is going to go for your Instagram and your Facebook too, but when people look at your page, this first grid is going to be the first thing they see. They're going to see your profile photo, your banner, and then what you do. And we're going to talk about, you know, all this here in just a second. But you want to make sure you have a really good headshot, not a selfie, but you want to make sure you have a headshot. Make sure you put your banner there, and then you want to have a detailed description of what you offer, what you do, and this right here, this tagline, and we're going to talk about this in just a second, but that's what's going to show up in everything that you do. When you comment on people's photos, when you message with people, everything. So you want to make sure that this is a really complete section here. And again, we're going to break that down. So again, a profile photo. You want something recent. You want something that's high quality, smiling. Again, no selfies. Something, and don't have a group photo. You want people to know that it's you in the photo. And then again, use an appropriate headline. Your job title, for whatever that is. If you're an entrepreneur, you know, just really hone in on what you offer. Because again, when you message people on LinkedIn or when you comment, it's going to always include this tagline right here. And you want to make sure that it's very specific to what you offer and to what you do. And then again, going into your profile, and we can take a look at this in just a second, but when you click on further down to your profile, you're going to have a written summary here. And you really want to have a short, brief written summary. You want to let people know what you can do for them, and you want people to know what I can, you know, what I can do for you, what you can do for me. So just imagine, in the world of resumes, imagine this as your cover letter for when we used to write resumes. And that's, you just want something really short, really specific, defining what you do, and speak from a personal voice as well. And here's some tips. I put: develop a sentence that drives you, who you are, who you help, how you help them, and what drives you in the most areas. And here, with a company that I'm partnered with, I included here, you know, business opportunities are available in, because these are the states that we're open in. And I want people to know that if you're in any of these countries and you want to do business, then we can do that. We can definitely do that. And then, of course, we're going to talk about engagement. This is going to be really big once you get your profile set up, is you want to really engage with your people and start those messages. Here's an example on the left here: nurturing relationships. You want to make an effort to connect with really valuable connections on a daily basis. And then you want to send valuable content specific to a connection. So maybe it's a congratulations, maybe it's a happy birthday, but you want to keep that interaction ongoing. And then, you know, you also want to show people that you took the time to really welcome them into your network and what you offer, who you are, what you represent. And I've got a guideline coming up. Here we go. So a personal welcome direct message. So when people are sending you a connection request, you want to send them a really personalized message back. You know, hi, Heather, it's so great to connect with you. Thanks for reaching out. On my profile, you will see me post a lot about nutrition and mindset and fitness. And and then you can include your personal website. I do include my personal website, not my company website, but I just include bridgetbartley.com. And I'll just say, for more information, you can, visit more at bridgetbartley.com. But I keep it very brief. But I want to give them knowledge in advance of, this is what you can expect to see on my page. You're going to see me post a lot about fitness, nutrition, because I don't want you to be so surprised that I'm going to be popping up in your news feed, but this is what you're going to see. And I would encourage you to, if you're not doing this already, to definitely start sending out those personal welcomes into your network. And then this is just a message I had gotten back from somebody, where I get these messages back that they say, well, I've never had anybody send me a personal welcome, so thanks so much. And, this was just one of those days where I thought it was just really nice that somebody actually took the time to send back. And then we're going to go into creating content. So people hear what they want to see. So everybody's going to always perceive things a little differently, but when you can do it visually, that's going to help people understand it so much more. That's why pictures are so powerful when it comes to our branding and social media. Whether you can design some stuff on Canva, that's one of our favorites that we use. You can also use WordSwag or Rona or Typorama. Those are my personal 4 favorites. Canva can be done on the computer or in an app. And then again, WordSwag, Rona, and Typorama. But you want to make sure you can create some, some pictures. You'll see later on in the week, we're having a coffee and chocolate on Saturday where I live. And so we went on Canva and created some flyers so we can use, because people are visual. They're really visual about what they see and what they learn. But in with the creating content, you want to have some professional photos done. It doesn't have to be expensive. If you guys are even in the Spartanburg area, there's a girl that we have here. She is a high school student, and she's launching her photography business, and she charges very, very little for photos. But you want to have some professional photos on your LinkedIn. And if you're like me, it is a little uncomfortable to post photos of yourself, but people want to see who they're doing business with. And they don't always have to be hair and makeup done, but it does help to have that type of a photo done, because again, your photos represent your business, it represents your lifestyle, and you want to show people who you are. And then another thing too is, going into the more casual scene, is you want to show people how you're doing business. You can you can show people, like here was when we were having a coffee meeting and celebrating when she quit her job. This is one of our business meetings, and I'm talking about the business here. Here's another one when we had a business meeting with our corporate office. And then one night after, it was actually after this meeting, we went and had dinner, and we just said the meeting after the meeting. So we kept it a little, you always want to create some sort of curiosity, but ideally you want to show the culture and the lifestyle of your business. You want to paint the picture for people of what your business is like. So whether, your business requires you to travel, whatever that looks like, you want to paint the picture for people of what they can expect to receive if they're coming into your product or your service or into your organization. And then next, some just casual photos. I'm a fan of doing photos like this. I mean, sometimes people would think, well, this is too casual for LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a professional network. But I feel like this is one thing that has helped me build on LinkedIn, is because I do show my life outside of my business. And, just hiking, and this was just like a random photo in a hoodie in my living room. But, you want to share who you are, again, because you are your brand. And you want to share what you love. You want to express your personality. People love when you can be authentic and be relatable. So there's some examples of casual photos. And then, of course, sharing value, which is what I was talking about, educating. These are just some really random facts that I have put out there. This is something about network marketing. This post here was talking about, being a single mom. And then again, some other just random things that I would put out there, but people want to see that you're real. And this is challenging for a lot of people to be this vulnerable and be this open. You know, if it fits your business and your personality, it works. But for me, I mean, it's something that I've always enjoyed doing is writing. And so, you know, people just, again, want to see that you're real. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, and so what I'll do is we'll take a tiny break. Let's see, and what we'll do is I'll go into LinkedIn and just kind of show you what I was talking about with creating your headline. So when you go into your main LinkedIn page from your desktop, and I'm assuming that nobody has this set up, but this little pin right here is where you're going to go in and edit your cover photo and your profile photo when you need to. So this here will allow you to edit your profile photo, and then this one here will allow you to change out your banner. If you don't have a banner, make sure you add one. And then again, right here is where you can add in your headline, your current position, and then you want to show as much as you can with what you've done in the past. Because even if you were a stay-at-home mom, and I'll show you that on mine too, like even when I was a stay-at-home mom for 13 years, you know, I put that in there because I wanted people to know, like, what was the time gap from 2002 to 2011, you know, where'd she go during that time? And so I added that in there. But here, you know, here's your profile where you can add that in and edit that. And then you can see here where it shows up here. And then also here on your photo, you can also show some just random photos about yourself. On Facebook, we have these shown as your banners, but this again just shows a little bit about me. So here is when I was in Arizona a few weeks ago. Again, casual photo. This is me at a company event. Again, at a company event, it's me and my children, fitness, and then work at an event. So you want to show people what you do and who you are. So that's that part with setting up your profile. Another thing, and I may be jumping ahead, but when you go into your LinkedIn where it says edit public profile and URL, you want to have a customized URL right here on the top right. It's going to allow you to personalize the URL. So what you want to do is go in, and it's going to be good for that way when you share your LinkedIn profile with people. What you'll do is just right there when you click on that pin, you can actually customize whatever you want it to say. So for me, it's Bridget Bartley 3. I think Bridget Bartley was taken, and so I put 3 on there for my 3 sons. But you want to customize your URL, and ideally it's going to be either your company name or it's going to be your first and last name, whatever your brand is. Any questions? Okay, so we're just going to keep going because I want to save some time so we can answer any questions. Okay, so one of the things, just to recap some of the stuff that we just covered is, and you can take a screenshot of this if you want, but you want to update your profile photo if you haven't. You want to update your summary. Also your recommendations and endorsements, and we can talk about that. I'll go back to that in just a second. And then create your personal welcome message. If you haven't done that yet, create your personal welcome message when you're getting people into your network. And then if you don't have any professional lifestyle photos, and listen, it doesn't have to be completely professional, like with an actual photographer, but even like if your spouse or best friend goes out and you guys take some pictures on an iPhone, you know, I mean, even that will work too, but you want something that's going to, you know, be professional looking. And then again, when you're creating content, remember to focus on 3 things, which are educate, entertain, and empower. And so let me go back because I do want to show you guys the recommendations and endorsements that I was talking about. At the bottom of your page, you will have recommendations and endorsements that you want people, you can ask people for them. So here are like some of the endorsements. Well, let me go back to this one. Okay, here we go. Because that was an edit screen. Okay, so this talks about my experience here, and it just goes down to the certifications and business experience. Here's what I was talking about. I was a full-time mom, and I talk about my business background, which is human resources. I put down all my certifications. Your skills, you want to add in all the skills that you have, And what will happen is, and we can do this for each other, is people will naturally just start endorsing you. And that's what you want to happen. And that just helps with your algorithm. And then your recommendations here as well. Okay, I don't know, did y'all see the notification that just popped up on my screen? Something happened to my Zoom. So I'm going to do something really quick. Hold on. Can y'all see this on my screen? It's asking me to, for some reason, I have to upgrade. Well, let me upgrade really quick. I've never had to do this because I always have Zoom meetings, but it's telling me I only have 9 minutes left in the meeting. So, hold on. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, if you don't upgrade, I think it puts a time limit on you.
Yeah.
So, and it only I thought it only allowed you to have yourself and one other person join if you had just a basic. So maybe I'm wrong.
It's never done this. I mean, I must not have, let's see. Okay, sorry guys. I'm going to do this really quick. Because I don't know, again, it's never happened. So I'm going to put this in really quick. Luckily, I just happen to have my card right here. Do y'all have any questions while I'm doing this?
Are we going to talk about, I know you mentioned like figuring out who our target audience is, but honestly, I'm almost afraid to come up with a specific type of person, or I guess I've heard people call them avatars, because I don't want to leave anybody out. So was it kind of trial and error for you to figure out like who you wanted to target?
You know, my avatar is actually, I don't have like a specific avatar. I don't target just men or just women. I target anybody who's looking for the end result.
Okay.
More energy, weight loss, weight gain.
Okay.
Sorry, for some reason it's not letting me. It's taking longer than I expected because it's not. I'm so sorry, y'all.
That's all right.
Yeah, so for your target audience, yeah, it's I mean, the question is like, are you comfortable working with both men and women?
Yeah, I am. I struggle though with figuring out like who's like the perfect candidate to try to connect with.
Right.
And because I mean, I think you can kind of tell immediately if someone's not gonna be into what you're doing, but that's another struggle, is just like, okay, you know, I've got 2 billion people on here that I could connect with. Like, how do I go about figuring out who to target, basically?
Right. Well, the thing about LinkedIn that I have noticed is that the products will sell first on LinkedIn versus the business.
Okay.
Because the people on LinkedIn, because they are professionals, they're not really looking to quit their corporate job.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why
I've been going about it. My whole profile and everything is more set up for the business opportunity, and so I think I need to change that.
Yeah, well, and you can let me find out where you guys are now. I think it's updated. It's you know, we could go back and forth as far as like who your target market is, but I say keep it open.
Okay.
I say completely to keep it open.
Okay.
Y'all, this is not letting me upgrade my account for some reason, and it's not. And I've never had this happen. And I know
Vanessa had some problems with her Zoom recently. I have a Zoom account. We can use mine if you want to. I've never used it. But we can
I've done Zoom calls like, you know, maybe I can use, hold on, let's see. I've never had this happen before, which is unusual. I'm gonna try it again. Okay, we're good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Okay. Now, okay. So I apologize for that. Cause like I said, I do Zoom calls all the time and it's never ever done that to me. So the thing is that your target market, the thing that I like to ask people, is who ideally would you want at your dinner table? So the three of us that are on here live and the people watching the recording can resonate. However, but you know, when we go to say events and, you know, who do you want to be at the table when you're going out to dinner or when you're going to lunches and stuff? Who do you want to travel with? And so that can be a man or a woman. I have some women and they are not comfortable working with men, and then men who aren't comfortable with women. And then I have teammates who are comfortable with both. So the way I look at it is I look for people who are wanting the end result of what our solutions are. Weight loss, more energy, fitness, performance, all of those things.
Okay.
And so I would just be open-minded to that. Now, again, then, you know, you can look at somebody like Kelly, who I think you're in Kelly's downline, correct?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so I know she is specific with what she works with, and that helps her. But, you know, I don't want to eliminate anybody.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so the call to action is what we were talking about, and then okay, this was a call to action that I wanted, you know, for us to finish out before we go into the next part of it. Is to make sure you do those things to your profile, and again, remember to entertain, educate, and empower as you are sharing. Because again, one thing that I tell people is, again, this goes for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Most people check their social media to either distract themselves or to entertain themselves. What do people do when you sit at a game and you're waiting for time to pass, or you're at a traffic light, or you're in line or something? So people usually typically will go on just to be sidetracked about what they're doing. So I know we just did questions, but do y'all have any other questions that you're thinking of? Okay. So I'm going to keep going. So I want to talk about the connections that we're creating, and then also let's talk about the engagement, and then we'll talk about the articles as well as groups. So that way you'll see the advantages of that as well. But just to give you a recap of the number of people that are on LinkedIn, and this is why I love LinkedIn. I mean, and y'all probably know this. I mean, in our industry, not a lot of people are using LinkedIn. And the people I've talked to about it, they're like, well, I'm just scared to use it, or I'm not comfortable with it. But it's a gold mine, I feel like, for us. But, you know, some stats that I got from Heather Austin is more than 2 people join LinkedIn every second. 98% of recruiters and 85% of hiring managers are using LinkedIn as a hiring tool. And one thing that I thought was really cool, LinkedIn has surpassed Facebook as the #1 most important social platform for business-to-business marketers. And it's become the #1 social media platform where millions of business professionals spend their time. And that stat right there is exactly why people are scared to use it, is because, think about this, the majority of people that are coming into our industry are stay-at-home moms, people who are not used to being in front of a business platform. So imagine walking into the Chamber of Commerce or some sort of business meeting and it's a bunch of men and women in suits and sheath dresses, that's basically what LinkedIn is. It's a business professional network. These aren't people who are, they're working parents, basically. And so, again, that's where it's different. So every time you post, imagine business people on the other side, more than just a social network. And then again, we talked about our profiles. So this is where I actually went in side by side. So I went in and I did some changes on my LinkedIn when I was putting this together. And so this is what it was before, where it was just, illuminate your life, what I was. But instead I added coach. So that way people know. And I think now I actually have lifestyle coach. I went back in again. But I want people to know that, coach for nutrition, mindset, lifestyle. So that way people know like what I actually do. And that's what you want to put on there is your actual job description. But that was just a comparison. And then I kind of changed some things up as well. But I'm always going in and just kind of playing around with my LinkedIn profile. Again, this is just so important to use your appropriate headline, because this is the first thing that people look at, your job title, because it will appear everywhere. And again, who you are, what you do to help, how do you help them, what are the keywords that describe your ideal career position. And you really want to include your location, your industry, to be specific on who you are, because I'm telling you that makes a big difference. And then again, on your headline, here's some examples of people that I've looked at that are some really great examples of well-written headlines. But, graphic designer specializing in, dental office manager, director of public relations, experienced sales professional. So those people, these are just some very specific headlines that really help identify what you do. And this was something else too that I really wanted to hone in on, because again, it goes into who you are and what you represent, but what type of career are you most passionate about? What are your areas of expertise, your personal interests, the volunteer work you've done, what drives you the most about your career, and what awards have you received? A lot of times people don't want to even put that out there, but, answer those questions and put those in just a few sentences. And then that's basically going to be your profile summary. You don't want to tell your life story, but you want to keep your sentences short and to the point. But when you can answer those questions and then compile it in just to a few sentences, that's going to really help set up your profile. And then here's another great profile summary of what, I'd found on somebody's, but career and business strategy is my passion. I'm a driven business owner dedicated to teaching business professionals the secrets to finding the perfect career and succeeding in the marketplace. So if you look at the keywords they use, career, business strategy, business owner, teaching, those were all keywords that related to their position. And then some last minute tips to really help your summary. Keep your paragraph short and use headers, subheaders, use bullet points, because people can read bullet points way easier than they can, just a full paragraph. And then of course, include your contact information, such as your email or website. And the thing is, I really want to help you guys have a great profile, and that's going to be the first impression of whether people even want to continue looking on your page. And that's why I'm covering so much on this before we get into the content. Some of you may ask, or notice that there's first, second, and third degree connections. Just for informational purposes, just a first degree is somebody that you're directly connected to. A second degree is somebody connected to your first degree, but found you through them. So basically, I like to call that a friend of a friend. And then a third degree connection is they're connected to your second, who's connected to your first. So basically, it's a friend of a friend of a friend. A lot of times, I don't know what the purpose is that LinkedIn uses that, but that's ideally, that's what it means. So first degree is somebody you're directly connected to. Second degree is a friend of a friend. And then third degree is friend of a friend of a friend. And then as far as engagement, I would encourage you to post at least once a day on LinkedIn, sometimes twice a day. If you are just now starting out on LinkedIn, then I would maybe consider posting twice a day. Now, keep in mind that LinkedIn is is all over the world. So, you know, there's going to be people, if it's 8 o'clock here, it's going to be morning time someplace else. So, you know, keep those posts like twice a day. If you're just getting started out, you can use Buffer if you want. Another thing that's really good with LinkedIn is video. I know that may be out of some people's comfort zone, but video is really helpful for LinkedIn. And then you just want to engage with everybody, and then even ask open-ended questions. So when I talk about engaging with everyone, think about, like, even when people comment on your post, you want to go under and you want to at least like it to acknowledge it, or just respond back, you know, even a simple thank you or whatever your opinion is. But you want to engage with every single person that comes in contact with your page. And then even as you're going into other people's pages, you want to even engage with them, because that's how other people will find you, is when you're on somebody else's page and you're starting a dialogue. People will also connect with you. And then again, this goes back to the welcome message, and I put it in with the engagement because this LinkedIn, just like Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn will reward you for the engagement. As you are putting information out there, people will definitely reward you, or the social media platforms will reward you for that engagement. And then here's some video that I've done. This was actually the very first video that I did on LinkedIn, and I was like, and this was completely out of my comfort zone, but I knew to take it next level that I required to do a video. So what I did is just, hey, LinkedIn, this is, you know, Bridget Bartley. I'm learning how to use Facebook, you know, capabilities. So basically here it is. And that's all I said, you know, have a great Friday. And then here's just like a happy Saturday thing. So video does really well on LinkedIn. So even if it's just a short blurb of like, hey, let me show you how easy it is to make my shake, or let me show you how easy it is to do this or that, or hey, let me, you know, show you about this DNA test that I just got back. So, and then creating content. This is something else that, as you know, I'm a big fan of, is just showing casual photos, showing people who they are doing business with. I rarely put my kids out on social media just for various reasons, but, and even when I do, I don't put their names out there, but they're older, they're all teenagers, and, you know, I want to respect their privacy more than anything. But I do want people to know I have kids and here they are. And again, I want to put them out there so that way people see who they're doing business with, for them to see I'm a mom and I have 3 boys. And then I like to call these unicorn posts. So these are the posts that just kind of go viral. These are posts that I never would have thought would have done so well. But like here, it was just talking about, it was just a random thought post. This one here was just a Bible scripture, and that just did really well. And here it was actually a business post and was talking about Uber and, you know, how business is changing. And so that post actually did really well. But when you have those, what I call unicorn posts, just don't post anything else for the rest of the day. Let that post just continue riding the wave. And then of course you want to go in and you want to engage with those comments. But then, and of course, engage, don't debate. That's what I tell people. Don't debate with people. But you want your next post to be about your business, your power post, what we would call power post. So again, when you have a post like that, leave it alone, let it ride the wave, and then make sure your next post, whatever your power post is, whether it's a before and after, whether it's a business post, whatever, just know that your next post is going to be watched right after that. And this is one of those things, like, I can have some posts I think is going to do great, and then there's going to be some posts that don't do great at all. And then articles, we'll talk about this. So articles are something that you want to stay on your LinkedIn page. So unlike Facebook, like if you post a photo, LinkedIn doesn't archive those photos. So if you want something to stay on your page, you want to put it into an article. And so when you do an article, just provide a short, catchy title, 400 to 2,000 words, and it's just a great way for that content to stay on your page. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. And then again, groups. This is where you want to create with like-minded people, similar to Facebook. you want to have those groups on LinkedIn so you can engage with people and create new connections. Because again, LinkedIn is going to be similar to Facebook, where if you're in a group or you're commenting and somebody sees you commenting and they're going to say, okay, who is Rhonda? Let me click on her page and see who she is. They're going to see your profile photo, your summary, your headline, everything that you do. And so that's where it just kind of all builds upon each other. And then let's take a look at the groups. Oh, here we go. There's LinkedIn. Okay, so first let's talk about the articles. So if you'll notice when you're up here at the articles, because when you go on people on your page, you can actually see the articles right here. And sometimes they may not get as many views, but again, it's just stuff that you can add. Like here's something that I did with, staying healthy in the holidays with healthy alcoholic drinks. And then this is another one about, it was just a personal development post. Here's one about the best workouts. Here's just a money post. It's a mindset post. This was a LinkedIn post. This is another health post. So again, the thing about articles, I mean, it's just, if you want something that is going to stay in your profile. And then too, you can, when you're talking to people, if somebody want to ask, well, how is Isagenix different than, the other programs, where I can say, well, go on the articles or I'll send it to you. Lemon water, that sort of thing. So that's how, and so how to do an article, and I'll show you how to do that. And, if you don't have any articles, I would say do an article. Ideally, it'd be good to do it like once every couple of weeks. But if you're just getting started, maybe like once a week. But when you go to your homepage right here, it'll say write an article on LinkedIn. And then once it takes you to your page, so here's where you can put your photo right there. And then you'll just write your headline. And then here you can just, write your content. And then once you're done with that, all you'll do is just go right here to publish. And that's it. It's really that simple. And you can write whatever it is that you want to write about. And then as far as going into your groups, so what I would recommend for groups, you'll see where, whoops. Where is it? Here we go. So when you go on your profile page at the top right where it has the grid with work, click on groups. And then you will see the groups. And here's like the advantage of like Women's International Network. So you can just go in and comment. You can also post in these groups and it'll give you a presence. And so maybe, you can post like, maybe a motivation or something about health and nutrition. You can't sell a product or promote, because here you can see as professional group, no sales pitches, no spamming, no politics. But like here, I'm like, okay, this is a great little stat. Did you know only 10% of professional negotiators are female? But then because she seems interesting, I'm going to go on her profile and she may be somebody I want to connect with. And so, maybe I would send her a connection request. She actually has her connection request turned off because she only has follow on there. But that's the idea. It's how similar to Facebook, it's how we prospect on LinkedIn. You can go in these groups and see who you would connect with. Here's another one. If after reading this, article, if she's somebody that I feel like I'd want to resonate with or connect with, I might send her, actually I'm already connected to her, but that's how you can really use these groups to connect with people and prospect. And what I would recommend is to connect with at least 10 to 20 people a day on LinkedIn. And then, okay, what questions do you have? Or do you want me to go to your profile and take a look at it? What questions do you have so far?
I have one. So you're saying if we make a post, but not an article, it'll be on there, but eventually it'll drop off. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's not an archive on LinkedIn the way there is on Facebook. Like if you look at photos I posted on LinkedIn, I can't go back to a year ago and find it. Whereas on Facebook, we can click on photos.
And how do we find these specific groups to join, or that we even may want to join?
Yeah. So what you can do is on groups, you can actually just go through and search and find the groups on here. And so what you can do is on the left side of your homepage, you'll see like some of the groups. You can do hashtags, but you can even just search, say, health. And so here you can find some of the stuff here.
Cool.
Let's see, healthy aging. So here's a few here, or if you just actually go over here to groups, and you can do a search here once it comes up.
Okay.
So, and you'll just see, here's right here at the bottom, you'll see search other trusted communities. So you can do a search at the bottom.
Okay.
And then there are just all sorts of groups. You'll just see them, and you can just search right here. So say if you wanted to search, I have a lot of windows open, so my computer's acting slow. But what you can do is search in that area up there on what you're looking for. Like here's all the groups here. You'll click all, and then this will show you groups that other people are in. But then there we go. For some reason, it's not letting me click up there. So let's say yoga. So you can just type in certain things and it'll, well, so that one's not coming up. But that's how you find them. And this section here at the top right, you click on that. And then you can look at, other groups that people are in. But once you just start searching it, I mean, you'll just see a lot of them just pop up.
Okay. Are you finding now that most of your people coming into your organization are coming to you? Like, are you doing, so you're not doing a lot of prospecting, I imagine, on LinkedIn. You're just,
yeah, I'm still doing both.
You are, okay.
Yeah, like I'll get connections requests, but then I'll still send out 10, 15, 20 a day.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Like I'm still reaching out to people because not everybody confirms, but yeah, I'm still constantly just reaching out.
Okay.
Every single day.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you guys want me to go to your profile and take a look at it, or do you want to keep going, or you want to save that to the end?
I don't mind, and you can save it to the end if you want. I don't care. Well, whatever Rhonda wants to do is fine with me.
Okay. Here's one here. Like, here's a great example. She's actually somebody in my team, but one thing that's really big with us too is celebrating your team. And so even though it's $50, how easy was it for her to make $50? And so, Susan's one that she'll put some content out there, but then to celebrate, people can resonate in their mindset with $50 more than they can $5,000 or $50,000. So, that's another thing that's big on LinkedIn as well. Okay. So one of the things too that, that I'm happy to just openly kind of share was just my system that I actually do on LinkedIn, I realize it's a typo, is, so when I have people that ask me for information, I have a landing page that I send them to. I don't send them to an actual iSamovie or a company site. I send them to my page, and actually it has a little bit about me, and it has an actual video there, because I feel like, and actually Kelly and Tyler helped me with this, but people are joining you over the company. They're not joining Isagenix. They're not joining, abc.com who sells whatever. I mean, they're joining you. So I just felt like it helped me. I've sent the company video to so many people, and they would say, I don't want to be involved with a network marketing company. So, and I'll walk you through that site in just a second. And then when they want to book an appointment, I use Calendly. And then I also use Typeform for a questionnaire, but I'll actually show you what that looks like. So illuminateyournutrition.com is what I use. And again, I'll show that to you. And then I have a calendar link that I schedule appointments with, because I feel like it makes it more professional, and it does keep it easier than they go back and forth. And then again, I have a questionnaire that I send people. So let me walk you through that, because I did want to just show you all that. So what happens with me when people ask me to, see something about the company, like I said, I send them to illuminateyournutrition.com, and that's just a name that I came up with. But illuminateyournutrition.com, and that's what it looks like for me. So you'll see it does look a lot like our company, but it's just, a little bit about health. And then I just share my personal story just very briefly. So you think the elevator pitch of my personal nutrition story. I keep it very simple. And then why nutritional cleansing? Again, I encompass the healthy aging, the energy performance, and the weight loss. And then what is Isagenix? And then I share a little, this is another, again, this is actually a presentation that I did, and I actually need to redo it. But I did it, it's about 2 weeks old. And I just do a brief overview of the Isagenix system. And then I also talk about the business, which is Business of the Future. And then for people who are ready, I'm ready for more energy. Then at the bottom, they can just schedule a call. And I'll let people know after you look at the information, you can click on the link, schedule a call. I'm happy to chat with you. And then here, 15-minute consultation. They'll click on that. They'll see what days I have available. So say it's tomorrow at 9:30. They'll click on that, confirm. And then what I do when I ask people when they schedule a call is they'll have their name. And then I want to know, go ahead, like, what are your health and fitness goals? What other programs have you tried in the past? Best number to reach you. And then it schedules the event. And that really allows a simple flow for me. So that way I'm not going back and forth. We can just message just a little bit, and then I can just get people on the phone really quickly. And this site is so easy to put together. I just did it through GoDaddy. There was a period of time where I was doing this for people just as like a little side hustle, because it was so simple to do. So, I mean, if you or your team interested, I can definitely, do that for you, since it's a small group in here. So yeah, that's that. And then again, talking about going back to educate, entertain, empower. One of the books I want to make sure that I wanted to share with you is, I've known about this book for years, and one of my mentors told me about this several years ago, but Building Your Story Brand with Donald Miller. Actually, it was my pastor that told me about it. And this has really helped me bring a lot of clarity into my brand and the information I'm putting out there into social media. So that's a book that I would highly recommend for you to get. And then let's see. Okay, yeah, we talked about the personal landing page. So you can do it on GoDaddy or Wix. You just want to secure your domain name. You just have your personal bio on there. And I go through phases of what I put out there. So personal video, which is optional to do, but if you don't have a personal website yet, I would highly recommend you to have a firstname, lastname.com. And it can be super simple. You can look at mine later if you want, but if I can build these, I know anybody can, because I am not a very tech savvy person, but I would definitely recommend, because your website is basically your virtual business card. And then again, this is when, if you're interested in a landing page, I can definitely set you up with that. It's basic. Similar, you can look at my website, bridgetbartley.com or illuminateyournutrition.com, and I've actually set both of those up for myself. Okay, so do you guys want to look at your social media and then just maybe see where you have questions, or what questions do you have?
I've really not used LinkedIn at all much.
Okay.
I've just set it up, but that's all the further I've gotten with it.
Well, that's a good start. I mean, you've gotten set up. I'm looking to see. Okay, so there you are. I'm just going to pull it up, and yeah, that's fine. And this is almost easier to work with, just because it's such a clean slate. So yeah, I would definitely recommend like adding in a banner. Adding in your information here. You can go in and look at what I have written down. I mean, both of you, because I know we're all in the same company, but you can copy and paste like the countries that we're in. Feel free to use that. And then what I would recommend is, like, with some of your connections, go through and see who you can connect with. So you've got 35 connections. Just go in. I would just start growing your network and start posting, every day, and start building that in.
How do you know what your title should be? It seems like everyone's got the same, wellness, health and wellness coach, nutrition coach. What are we? What would you?
Well, I think that it's what you feel like it is. I mean, everybody has that, because that's ideally what we're all doing. For me, because I went through the certification, I went through 2 lifestyle certifications. I have on mine certified lifestyle coach, but nutrition coach would work, health coach,
okay,
transformation coach is what I've seen people use as well. But yeah, you could definitely, between like all of us that are in the company, there aren't many people using LinkedIn, which is very interesting. A lot of the top leaders, I think Jennifer Trinkner is the only one that uses it when it comes to, like, when I say top leaders. But, within our organization, we have so many people on LinkedIn that, it truly is a gold mine. And the easy part about LinkedIn is that everybody has jobs, so money is not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And, they don't ask for prices. It's just, money is just not an issue. But yeah, you have a great slate to work from. And then, are you listed as Heather Scott? Or is it
Heather Scott, and then Rosca.
That's okay. I knew there was another.
And the Rosca's in, wonder if it'll come up that way. You may, Raska, sorry. You may have
I was going to see if it pull up.
Raska, no U. There it is. That's it, yeah.
Okay. And so you have the premium as well. Have you noticed anything with the LinkedIn or the premium?
No, that's why I had emailed you back. I'm like, I'm really thinking that I should cancel that. I mean, sorry, at $60 a month.
It's so not worth it.
And the only thing that I felt like was maybe a little bit different was the search function. Like, you had a little bit more functionality with that, as opposed, like, you could say people that are into network marketing, for example, in North Carolina. It would let you dig a little deeper, but that's really about it. And for me, $60 a month, I just don't know that it's worth.
No, it's not. I'm actually making a note so I can cancel mine. It's definitely not. It's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, so I'm going to make some changes to mine today, because I set mine up more of as the business side, just trying to, because there are, obviously you can type in people in sales looking for new opportunities, there's a gazillion people on LinkedIn that need jobs too. So I have connected with people that have a sales background and that are currently out of a job.
Right. Well, and that's another thing too that I was going to look at doing for the LinkedIn is to start putting ads out there and like actually posting jobs.
Oh yeah.
Because again, I mean that's what LinkedIn is for. I mean, people are looking for jobs on here.
Yeah, I saw Kelly and Tyler, which I do roll up to them, but I'm pretty sure I'm in a business center that they maxed out years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm still considered like I'm in her, organization. But I did see online they had posted these videos, and they basically said, we're currently accepting, 10 people. I was like, that is genius because, while they're really not, they really are,
Mm-hmm.
Pick and choose. Sorry, I gotta plug my laptop back in. But anyway, so yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got a good bit of time left. I mean, what other questions do you have? And if it helps, because I know we have so much, there's a big time gap. And if y'all would rather, we can either do it together as a group, or if you guys want to, or girls want to work on your LinkedIn, and then we can just save the time. And I'm happy to work with you one-on-one after you update your account. We can schedule a separate Zoom call, just one-on-one. I'm happy to do that too. I'll say though, Heather, with what you were saying is, I mean, you've got your banner, your headshot. So, I mean, you've got a good foundation as well. I would just, add more. This is great. You share your story, and you share exactly like who you are, what you do. Of course, you just want to start putting content out there.
Sure. And that's my biggest thing is I don't know where I heard it, but someone was saying like you have to be careful because if you're too salesy, or if LinkedIn feels like you're selling something, they'll kick you off. Is that not true?
They haven't kicked me off. And you can look at my page, but I don't put a lot out there. Like I will put indirect fitness posts out there. So for example, I'll show you a post that I did last night, and this would be like an indirect, like Isagenix post. Let's see.
Yeah, but like you don't ever talk about the products, or you never even really say Isagenix. Like you have
Every couple of weeks. Yeah, like every 2 or 3 weeks I'll put it out there. But what let's see. We'll wait for it to just pop up. But so I did a post last night, and it was talking about balancing out your meals. And so what I'll do is, go back and I'll message people directly, the ones who have commented on the post. So this is what I posted here. You're a culprit of all or nothing. If you're looking to make long-term sustainable progress, blah, blah, blah. If you are ready to have more energy, less body fat, more lean muscle, message me to schedule a consultation. And so, I had 20 comments.
That's
but,
awesome.
A visual like that. So I'm not necessarily just selling Isagenix, but I'm selling the lifestyle.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I noticed like Zach and Eden, I think they have a page, but they're not on LinkedIn. Just looking up a couple other of the top people that you hear, so much about.
But none of them are. Tyler is on, but he's not very active. JJ Burden, he's on there, but he has another business on there. Aaron Hairston is on, but Tyler promotes it as the Tyler and Kelly show. I don't even know if he even posts. If he posts, I've never even seen him post. So he only has 1,500 people connected. So they don't really use it very much.
I know, which is good. I kind of feel like it's nice to be one of the first ones to do this, at least in our company.
Absolutely. That's what I keep telling people is, this will be the last class that I'll do just because I'm thinking, not to be selfish, but at the same time,
Right.
I feel like people are getting left behind on it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I get it. You're helping. You're teaching us how to do it, but at the same time, we're all in this trying to find customers and clients, and
yeah.
so I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and if you want, like I said, I mean, if we can stay on as a group, or if you want, you guys just spend a few days, get your account updated with your summary, your headline, your photos, put some content out there, and then you can reach out to me, and then we can each just schedule a one-on-one call.
I'm fine with that.
I'm totally fine with doing that.
Okay, that's fine with me. Rhonda, is that good with you?
Okay. Okay. Well, why don't y'all do that? Each of you message me, and then I'll let the other people know as well, the people who weren't able to get on. But after they watch the recording, and then what we'll do is when you guys have updated everything, message me and let's schedule a Zoom call, and we can just do like a recap. Okay. Awesome. Well, it's nice to meet you girls.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, I'm going to tell you, don't forget to message me.
No, I won't. It might take me a couple days because
That's fine. Even if it's a week out, update some stuff, like I said, do your summary, your profile, put some stuff out there, write your message, like do all the homework and call to actions. And then I'm more than happy to help you.
Awesome. Well, this was
And
very
I would do the same call to action for Facebook as well as Instagram. So I don't know how much you're on Instagram or Facebook, but even on Instagram, I always send messages out, and all I say is, hey, like I keep it so generic. I'll say like, hey girl, thanks for the follow. Have a great day. Or, hi Heather, great to connect with you. Thanks for the follow. Like I keep it just super short. Even on Instagram, I send that message out to people, and then the same for Facebook too.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. This was so helpful.
Awesome. I'm so glad. I'll see you girls soon.
Okay. Thanks, Bridget.
And I'll send you the recording as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.